Rachel out there in the internet world here with Helen Lim. And I am really honored to be able to do this live today with Helen, to bring her into my audience and share her wisdom, her magic with all of you, and to share a little bit of behind the scenes of our work together. And it's not done yet, but we're getting towards the end, and it's been, for me, amazing. And I just want everyone to know about you, Helen, and be able to experience your gifts. So go ahead, introduce yourself, Helen, to my audience. Tell them a little bit about you, where you are in the world, all that, what you do, what your magic is.
Thanks so much, Rachel. It's such an honor to be here and just get to be spotlighted. So I'm based in LA in California, and I'm a life coach and energetic healer, an energy pharmacist of sorts, since I used to be working behind the CVS counters. I help people manage their mental and emotional symptoms and move them through their mess into clarity. And the energy pharmacist part is because, like, you would go to a CVS pharmacist and ask about certain physical symptoms, if whatever is bothering your mind or your emotions, I can do that same come to the counter service. And working with you in our 6 months, I can't believe it's been 6 months, has been truly transformative. This coaching, the work that you take us through and teach us, is really transformative.
So, Helen, I want to back up for a second. So people come to you, like they go to this, I love this, to the CVS counter with symptoms. Usually go to the CVS counter probably with like, I have a cough, or I have a lot of, I don't know, you are the pharmacist, you could tell us. Tell us about like the symptoms that you tend to see when they come to your counter now.
Yeah, so now it's a lot of like, I don't know what I'm doing in my life. I don't have the same happiness that I used to have before. I don't want to feel these feelings anymore, or I'm going through a breakup, or I really want to have like a committed relationship. I haven't been able to have a committed relationship, or I think I want to change my job. So yeah, it's these kind of, as you taught me, these invisible things that we don't really go to a professional for. Usually we just go to our network and our circle. But through life experience, helping clients, I have a lot of ways to help, prescriptions to give.
I love it. Yes, prescriptions to give, right? It's that deeper inner healing, right? Not just the surface level, like, I've got a kink in my neck, or, something going on in my low back, but what's underneath the kink in the neck and the pain in your low back.
Yes, and it is a great way to say that it's underneath, because the physical symptoms are probably manifested through a feeling or a thought that has been perpetuated. There's definitely underneath them. Usually the physical symptoms are there because whatever was a thought or a feeling that went unaddressed is now thought so much, or has so much energy in the system, the body system, that now it manifests into the body.
Yes. And tell them a little bit, like, so you were a pharmacist turned coach, healer, and what was that all about? Like, what made you think I want to be doing this instead of this?
I think overall, when I consider my whole journey, it happened pretty organically, like being led by a sense of what's right. Because being in healthcare and pharmacy, it never felt right to give people medications that are only like a band-aid fix, if you will, like never addressing what is truly causing your runny nose or your cough. And so I went on my own curious search and first found yoga, which then I could understand how even more deeply than how the body works. So even beyond pharmacy school teachings. Like, for example, fun fact, the chakra systems in yoga talks about the solar plexus. You never learn about the solar plexus in any medical school.
Mhm. Does not
So
exist.
yeah, so crazy. And after yoga, and I guess it's also a lot of my own personal things. Not that I was ever truly really sick myself, but seeing my grandparents have diabetes, and I knew that more than medicine could help, especially because diabetes is actually a lifestyle disease. So I was always very curious in healthy lifestyles. And from yoga, my interest then went to Reiki. And then it was after my own like experiences with psychedelic plants that then I opened up to this new world of energy healing, because it is very opposite from the science way of being measured in medicine, into this like invisible, like, are you really doing anything type of medicine? And now I can have great appreciation that I live in both poles and can serve people in both ways, because healing the body, there is a time and place for it. So, that's why we have it hospitals. There are some instances that are just so dire, we have to take care of it. But mostly in our day-to-day things, that has a compounding effect. And if we take care of ourselves in these little ways, I guess it's more preventative medicine that then takes care of everybody.
I love it. 100% agree with you. And I don't know if I knew that yoga was like your kind of stepping stone, because yoga for me was a lot of my stepping stone into this work too. I love that. Yoga is such a powerful practice, really, when you embody all of its elements. A lot of people I know aren't familiar with all of it, so I'll just say it in that way. That would take way too much time to go all into. So Helen, tell them a little bit about, like, you use a bunch of different modalities in your coaching, and tell them a little bit about those, and yeah, anything that maybe would, be like why you chose those. Maybe that's a better way of me phrasing it.
Okay. The most often used modality that I work with clients on is called human design. And it is a system, kind of like a personality system, but on steroids, because it does include some quantum physics.
I like that.
And
It's a personality system on steroids. I would agree with you.
there's so much information in it. And
Yes.
I really enjoy that one because it's very practical. So I know even yesterday in like a 20-minute call with a client, I was able to be like, well, you most likely need this prescription because your chart reads in this way. And, having her practice it and then being like, oh, I feel totally centered. Like, wow, like what did we just do? And it's, the guidance just is more like meditative. And it's just these like energy techniques that we just aren't taught in schools or really anywhere, right? Like, it's because you and I fell into these worlds that we know about it. So yes, I love human design for its practicality that you can apply to your day-to-day self-care. Just like you would take care of your body, your energy body needs taking care of. And then, for my energy formal work, like I'm trained in the shamanic sense. So I have the practices of what's called an illumination. So it takes the dense energies out of a certain chakra and then illuminates it and then resets your whole energy and chakra light body. Also can do extractions if there are any entities in your kind of field and body, as well as a soul retrieval, which helps you return to you a part of yourself that fragmented away fragmented away during a trauma. And so you can come into more wholeness and have that with you now in your whole makeup.
Oh, I love it. And what are some like things that people, like tangible things people accomplish by doing this work?
Let's see. These are fun. This is a fun part, right?
It's just, I feel like it's what people want to know, right? They want to know, okay, that all sounds great and amazing, but what does it do for me?
Yeah. So I've had a client then decide they were going to sign up for their own coaching certification with the
Mm,
clarity of like, oh, I don't want this job anymore. Um, and then another one who, after thinking about coaching school, doing the investigative parts, and then decided, oh, wait, I want to be a financial planner, and like went all in and was like doing it as a side hustle. Cause so now he's like, I don't know, doubly profitable in his own world. Had another client who then was able to have the courage to move and sell her home and do the
mm,
digital nomad life like she wanted.
ooh,
Yeah. Yeah. And then, oh, another client who she really lived in pain, and because she thought that she was a victim to a lot of like say her husband's schedule or herself being so tired. But after 7 months she was like, her being was totally transformed. She was lit up. She was having she had never felt more in love with her husband, she said, and her and her daughter were having much more fun. And she felt that with our work together, that she felt so held and loved by me. And maybe sometimes we just need to be shown that we can be loved, and then we start to believe
mhm.
it more.
Oh my God, 100% agree. Amen to that one. So what I hear is like people creating new professions, transitioning into some work that feels more like soul driven. Um, I mean, I love hearing stories where, relationships improve, because so much of our life is the relationships that we surround ourselves with. And I think so many people spend so much time focused on, the making money or doing this or that. But why are we doing all that? Who fucking cares if you're not enjoying the relationships? You're not enjoying your
Mhm.
actual life, you know? Anyway.
Yeah.
So, Helen, tell them a little bit about where you were at when we met. And, it's been almost 6 months. And how are you feeling now?
Yeah. I remember on our first one-to-one call, I think I couldn't even think of like getting into, say, like a corporate space for my work. And I was also like super minutely focused, like narrowly focused on like making a certain amount of money per
Mhm.
month. The goal was 8K per month. And today I don't feel the need to go to corporate, because I think that version of me back then was more like, that's a place where I can make the most impact. I'm kind of like craving that validation of impact there.
Mm,
But now knowing that impact comes even in small forms, and knowing that it's not about the amount of money I make every month, because I am super prosperous like all the time, and being able to resource that all from within me.
mm. And so, someone who's listening who's like, what does that mean? Like, what does it
Yeah.
mean that you can resource it all from you? I mean, I know what you're saying, but just in case, I just want really people to understand the power of what's possible when you go in all in on yourself.
Yeah. Oh, I like that. Um, that is so true. That's what I did. I went all in on myself. It's because now that I'm all in on myself, I know that when there's any hard times or challenges, I have everything I need to take pause and look at the situation, come at the situation with full confidence and belief that I can handle it, that what I want is still within reach.
Mm,
Where before I thought that maybe there's like a weakness or not enough factor in before, right? Like um, I'm not enough, or I'm weak, so then I need somebody stronger to help me, and I'm always reaching for the
wow.
stronger people. Yeah. And then
Ooh, so it's
today
like
it's
the
like, no, I
tapping
am
into your
also
own
strong.
strength.
Yeah.
Oh, so good. So good. Yeah. Yeah, one of the things I've noticed is just your ability to really communicate like who you are and what you do and really own it, right? Not like have a wobble in, well, some people might think this is weird or too out there, and really just own who you are, own your gifts. And Helen is very gifted and has some pretty cool superpowers that I don't think a lot of people have. And I think to the outside world it can be scary to own that stuff because it almost outs us. But you outing yourself is actually, I think, what also makes you so unique.
Oh, I appreciate that. And I really do credit our work together, Rachel. So thank you for guiding me
Mhm.
to this point.
So I'm curious, what would, like, someone who's maybe thinking about, so I opened up the wait list just this week for this
Oh.
certification, just waitlist status right now, which I'll be sharing at the end of the month. Some amazing, amazing, incredible bonuses to those people that are on the wait list, and then I'll open up to the general public. They won't get those special bonuses. But if someone's like been thinking, like maybe there are a coach already, like when we started working together, you were already coaching. It's not like this was your first rodeo, right? So if someone's
Mhm.
it, like I've had people, there's people that come in that are pretty brand spanking new, and there's people like you who already have so many gifts. What would be, from that perspective of someone who already has a lot of gifts and a lot of skills, what would be your advice to those healers, those change makers, those coaches out there?
My advice would be like definitely be discerning about who you choose to level up, and like make make sure who you choose is someone. I know this is kind of cliche because people say always like, go learn from the people who are doing the life, have the life or living the life that you
Mm,
want to be living. um but there really is something to that. And I guess speaking energetically, it's like if that's the lifestyle you want to live and you can see it in that person. But also not just the outside stuff, also look at who they are as a person. And Rachel, I
mhm,
remember telling you on our first one-to-one call that there's just so much resonance in the sense of our yoga and like chanting practices, and just
mhm.
could tell that by learning from you and being in your container, I could get closer to who I wanted to be. Yeah.
Yeah, I love that. And I would say that if anyone's listening and Helen is speaking your language and you're not a coach or a change maker, and you don't really have that desire, but you do have the desire to almost like tune in more to that, and you're interested in learning more about energy. And I believe everything is, well, it's not just me. I mean, science has pretty much proven that everything is energy. And you want to learn how to, like, I would almost like, I want to say tune, do have like a tune up, an energy tune up, right? I was
Yes.
trying to think of something that went with the medical, but I guess it's like a checkup, in a little ways, but it's more than a
Yeah.
checkup. Really, you should really reach out to Helen because she is really, um, she's very gifted when it comes to different realms and being able to, like, if one avenue isn't necessarily, let's say, not say working, but it's not landing, she's got so many different almost wings to pull from, which is really, really beautiful and incredible. And yeah, like I 100% agree with Helen. Like energy is really should be probably the number one deciding factor as you're deciding
Mhm.
whether it's to level up or to integrate, or whether it is to make any shift or change, is going to require a level of being uncomfortable. I don't ever want to mislead anyone. So make sure that as you align with the people that you want to surround you, whether it's paid support or unpaid support, make sure those people are supporting you. Because unfortunately, some people,
Yeah.
you may think they are, but they just don't have the capacity to really do that.
Mhm. Mhm.
Yeah. Mm. And Helen, what would you say has been your favorite part of being in the container?
Oh, my
By the
favorite
way, this is not
part.
scripted, guys. So Helen did not get any questions in advance. She has no idea what I'm going to ask her.
Everything's on the fly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just kind of how we do
I
things.
mhm. I enjoy that the balance that you had between what you knew you wanted to teach us and then what we brought to the table with our curiosities, because that feels much more flexible than the environment of school where, you know, the teacher just has the lesson plan and you're just taking it because that's exactly what the teacher said. It felt, yeah, the collaborative energy that you hold and um, make space for us to grow. Yeah, like for example, for everyone listening, one of my container mates is Clarissa, and Rachel had Clarissa teach about yeah, a small portion of our coursework, which was so cool to get to see um, people highlighted.
Yeah. Yeah. I am a big believer in collaborating. And also, I mean, I think that's the yogi in me that, you know, you can have an agenda, you can have a plan, and at any moment you have to be willing to ditch it and land where your clients are. And I think that's truly the gift of this work is be unattached. Be unattached and the results will come as they're supposed to. They may not show up as you think they're going to, right? That can be the challenge, right? As on
Yeah.
the coaching side, but just trust that your clients, what they bring is what they need. I mean, obviously, right? It seems so obvious, and unfortunately, so I see it so many times. I've been in containers where, you know, we just the leader gets so attached to the agenda, and then people leave feeling unheard or like a gap. And so as a change worker, stay present, really present, in line with, let them lead the path, lead the journey. You just get to hold the space as you go with them. And of course, have things in your back pocket because sometimes they may not know where to go. And that's then your job.
Yeah. Yes, it's that's like a coaching session in a nutshell too,
Yeah,
right?
right.
Because
There's little coaching lesson there. Yeah. So Helen, if someone's listening and they resonate with your energy, and they're like, ooh, and I want to tell you guys, I've actually been fortunate enough. Like I said, I am humble enough, I guess, if that's the right word. Like I've had Helen coach me. I've had some of my clients do work on me, and I feel so lucky and so grateful that I don't have ego where I'm like, oh no, I'm the leader. I can only be on top. Anyways, anyone who knows me, I love to be like ridiculous and sarcastic. But no, and I've had the fortunate chance that Helen has coached me. She's done a human design reading for me, and it was amazing. And she's done a what would you call that? Like a intuitive,
I guess
ancestral.
yeah, like a medium, right? Because
Yeah.
if I'm here and yeah, I can tell you and I hear them. Yeah.
Yeah, like a pat,
Yeah.
like going into like some ancestral stuff, and it was wild and super cool. And you know, I can speak not just as a mentor, but I can speak as the client, and she is quite magical. So I really wanted to bring her on and highlight her. So anyone out here in my online world who's looking for energy work, who's looking for that shamanic kind of path, I want them to know about you, Helen.
Thank you so much. Yeah, I'm on Instagram. My handle is at Helen_coaches. You also can email me, helen@helencoaches.com. And I have, I'll probably lead you to our complimentary 20 minutes so that we can just chat. I know a lot of my work is new, so I love to just chat with people and let them know what's going on. And then if you want to just check out my website quietly, it's Helen. Actually, wait, I don't memorize it right now. Wait, helencoaches.wordpress.com. There we go.
Awesome. And if anybody's listening and they didn't get all that, just you can always, of course, reach out to me, send me a DM, comment on this live, and I'll make sure that you get Helen's information. And if you are an aspiring coach or a coach and you really want to learn how to integrate not just the mindset piece, the mindset it's important. I don't want to diminish it, but there's a whole nother piece, which is the body and the energetic field. Then definitely check out the Somatic Coach certification. We don't do surface level shit, guys. We go really deep, really fast, and then we practice it. I really am not a big believer in just learning a bunch of theories memorizing them. I'm a big believer in embodiment. And that's where, for me, the magic happened. And that's what I want for other people. So join the wait list. And if you're interested, yeah, join the wait list. And when all the specials come out, you'll be the first to know.
You guys won't regret that investment. Definitely take a look at it and sign up.
Yeah. Thank you so much, Helen. So much for taking some time out of your day, spending it here with me. Everyone knows now, don't sit in the hot sun with the computer. It will make it freak out. Lesson of the day. Anyways, all right, everyone, have a wonderful, wonderful day.
Thanks again, Rachel.